Anne from Game Like a Mother. I specialize in games that can be played in 20 minutes or less, and this is my top 10 list of games that can be gifted to any kid version 2022. I have one of these lists from last year as well with completely different games, and I still stand by all of those. Great options, but these are another 10 because sometimes you want to give a child a game as a gift and you aren't exactly sure what they're into and you need something that is a surefire hit. I start with some alternatives to Uno on this list and then go to some Playdate style games and then end with some family level kid board games that just every kid loves. I have all the games listed in the description of the video along with the timestamp, and I've also included links to any of the how to play videos I've created for any of these games. So let's get started. First up, we have the game 5 Alive. It has 7 and up on the box, but I'd say from 6 to 10 or 11 really love this game. It is my 7-year-old's absolute favorite game right now, and this is a nice alternative to Uno. It's just a little deck of cards, and all you're trying to do is to be the last one with any of your lives remaining. You're playing out cards onto a central stack, and if you make the stack total go over 21, then you lose a life. But then the round keeps on going, and just whoever plays the last card, then everybody else loses a life. But it still has some of the specialty cards that make kids really like Uno. There's you can skip someone, you can reverse directions, but there's also a bomb card the kids get really excited about. There's only one in the whole deck, and if you play it out, then everyone else has to play a 0 to defuse the bomb, or they lose a life. So it's fun, there's enough going on, but it's very simple, very easy. And there's a couple things that make me really love this game. One, there is a defined time limit on the game. Each person on each round is just dealt out 10 cards, and you have a few cards where you can make other people draw extra cards. But in general, when you've played out your 10 cards, then the round is over. So there's a defined time limit to the round because sometimes with Uno, you don't know what you're getting in for. It could be a really quick one or it can be a really long game. And also, this is super cheap at Target. It's like $5 or $6. So it's just one of those games that is so tiny, quick, easy. All the kids like it. And you are certainly getting some good bang for your buck here. Next up, we have Don't Llama, another nice little card game if you're looking for different options to Uno. This one says ages 8 and up on the box, but I would say ages from 6 through adult all just is a great choice for this game. What you're trying to do in this game is you're trying to not get points. And how you get points is you score any of the cards you have left at the end of a round. And the cards you have, it's very simple. It's from 1 to 6, and then there's the Llama card, which is the magical number bridging from 6 and back around to 1 again. So it's really simple. There aren't any power cards, but there are some fun, really strategic decisions you get to play in this game that is deceptively simple because on your turn, you either get to play a card if it's the same number or the next number up, or you can draw a card if you can't play anything, or you can choose to quit out the round and just take whatever points you have left. If you have just a few, that might be strategic and good to do. But what's really fun is if you're able to play all of your cards, the round ends instantly. Everybody else has to score up those points, and you get to give a point chip back. There are white point chips that are worth 1, there are black point chips that are worth 10, and the game doesn't care. If you have just white point chips, you get rid of one of those. If you have some black point chips, you get to get rid of one of those, which means this game has some really fun swings for who's in the lead, even if you're way back and you say, oh no, I have 32 points, I'm probably about to lose. You can have a really good couple of rounds and get rid of some big point chips and come back and win, which is nice for kids. Even if you've had some bad rounds, you have the promise that you still could come back and win it. And there's some really fun push your luck moments where you're saying, ooh, I'm so close to going out, but I can't play right now. Should I draw and risk it because that person might go out and then I would have more points in my hand? I don't know. So it's just fun. It's simple, but it's fun every time you play. And this is one that you get for somebody, and they're going to like it when they're younger. You can play it as a kid, but it's fun even up through for just adults. I've played this for an adult game night before and just had an absolute blast. So this one's incredibly versatile and is incredibly good and popular. Next, we have Zombie Dice, which says ages 10 and up on the box, but works pretty well for ages like 6 through adult. And I do not love the zombie theme. I think the cover art for the little container is gross. But everything besides that is fine. The dice are fine, nothing gross about the dice. And some kids just love zombies, and this might be the thing that just really gets them into playing a game, and they will be all about this. The game itself is so simple, and it's really fun. It's a push your luck game in which you are a zombie, and you are trying to roll for brains. And the first one to get 13 brains is the winner. You roll 3 dice each time, and you're trying to get brains. Sometimes footprints appear. I call those the villagers trying to run away. You get to re-roll those dice and go for them again. Or you can get a shotgun blast, and that means they got you a little bit. And you get to keep on going and rolling and collecting brains until either you quit out and you say, okay, they shot me twice. I got 6 brains. That was a very good round. We're going to call it good. Pass the dice along. Or if you push your luck too far and they shoot you 3, you get 3 shotgun blast dice up, then all of your brains are erased. It doesn't count. You lost them all. It doesn't matter if you got like 8 brains. Your score for those is 0, and it passes on to the next person, and you keep on going. And I like this a lot for many reasons. One is, in a push your luck game, you can lose pretty easily on purpose if you want. You just have to push your luck. You just keep on going a little bit further than you should, and eventually you'll go bust, which can be helpful from time to time, depending on the child you're playing with. It's a nice option to have. I also like this game because it is so easy to learn. Like, even if somebody's not really sure about games, oh, there's rules, I don't like it. This is just roll the dice. If you have brains, keep on going. Like, it's just so easy. And it is really fun. This was one of our go-to pool games this past summer. We played it a ton, like pool, beach. It's great. It works great if it's windy conditions. So it's really great for that. It is loud. Dice are loud. And also doesn't help when overexcited kids start chanting brains, brains, brains while you're playing, because that's what they're going for. But it is just really fun to play. Any player count really works for this. So especially if zombies are your thing at all, this game is a surefire hit. Next up, we have Sink and Sand. We've moved into the play date type games, and this one has ages 4 and up on the box, but my 3-year-old loves it, and her older siblings who are 7, 9, and 10 also really enjoy it, so it seems to have a pretty good age range. The goal of the game is, it's like Kerplunk meets Don't Break the Ice, in which you have a bunch of like Kerplunk sticks with kinetic sand on top of that, and you put your little adventure guy on top of the sand, and you're pulling out the sticks and trying not to be the one to fall through the quicksand down below. Yes, kids still love quicksand. And I love this game because, first of all, I was very nervous about a game with sand involved. Kinetic sand isn't messy. We always play this on the counter, and little bits of the sand sometimes end up on there that we wipe up afterwards, but there's been essentially no mess when we've played this, which is impressive and wonderful. And the gameplay is so fun. Man, are kids into it the entire time they play, which not every game geared for this age level has that, but there's a real tension. Oh my goodness, who's gonna fall through? The one thing that can be a little tricky for this game is there is a jewel that you hide in the sand, and then when it falls through, the first person to grab it then gets to have a bonus life, basically. If their guy falls through, they get to put them back up again. And depending on who's playing, that can be a good or a bad thing. When we've played, we've always just said it goes to the 3-year-old, or you just can take it out completely if kids are going to have fights over that. But yeah, I've been really impressed by this one. There seem to be 2 different versions. There's one exclusive to Target, and then there's one exclusive to Amazon. And they both are essentially the same, but if you care about theme or anything like that, there's slightly different characters involved. But this is just one that's pretty new and is a surefire hit for a wide age range of kids. Next, we have a game of cat and mouse. It says ages 7 and up on the box, and I would probably go by that. There's a bit of dexterity required for this game, and I'd get it up to ages like 11 or 12. I'd get it for a gift for the child. It's by the makers of Exploding Kittens, and kids in this age range mostly seem to have heard of that game. It's very popular. There's a bunch of other games they've come out with as well. This one is a playdate style game, which they describe as it's like pinball with slingshots, and it's competitive. What you're trying to do is you have this little cat paw, and you're using it to flick. There's yellow, white, and a black little ball, and you're trying to get all of the balls of a certain color over to the other side of the board, and then you win a round and get a point. It's tricky. It's hard. I'm not good at this game. And I think sometimes, oh gosh, well then why would we get this for people? Isn't it too hard? And then I bring it to my board game classes and the kids go nuts for it. They seem to get the knack for it. They seem to figure out just the little trick of getting it across just right with no problem. So I think it's one of those things where if you practice at it a little bit, you get it down, and it's very fun. The one thing I'd say is you kind of need to be careful about who you're giving it to or the situation in which you're playing it, because sometimes the balls do go flying across the room, and then you have to go hunt them down and find them, and they're just these little balls that are shooting across through the cat mouth or through the nose. That's where the black one sits. But it's the kind of game where if a kid opens this up as a present, they're instantly excited. It's easy to set up and start playing around with immediately. So it's a very good instant gratification type game. Next, we have Loopin Chewie, which says ages 6 and up on the box, and I'd go by that, and I'd say kids up through 10 or 11 would still be really excited about this game. It is out of print. This game is out of print, but you can still find it on eBay and Amazon. I would not normally put an out-of-print game on a game list, but this is so good, and it is so wildly popular when I bring it to my board game camps. The game is you have Chewbacca in the Millennium Falcon, and you push a little button, and he goes around in a circle, and you have Stormtrooper tokens, and you're trying to flip Chewbacca up so that he takes out other people's tokens and yours get to stay, and whoever has the last to have any tokens left is the winner. And I have to say, I've been bringing this to, I teach board game classes during the summer and during winter, and I've been bringing this to them for about 2 years, and kids just lose it over this game. They walk in, and it doesn't matter if they've come to a bunch of my camps and have played this a bunch. It doesn't matter if they've gone and run out and purchased it and they have it at home. When they come to the camps, they want to sit down and start playing this game. There's just something about this game. I don't know why it's out of print because it's so good. But it's 3-player, and it's so easy, but it's so rewarding to play. And it is virtually indestructible. I have brought these to camps. Kids are not necessarily that gentle. They bang on the little thing to flip it back up, and which penalizes you because then your tokens tend to fall down when you do that. So I appreciate that. They do a whole bunch of stuff to this game, and it still works perfectly. And we've had it for years. So I would say it's worth hunting down a copy, especially like the Star Wars theme. It's hard to find games for younger ages that are like this kind of thing that just play really well. So kids just love every aspect of this game. And if you'd rather have something 4-player, there is a different version of this game. The original was called Loopin Louie, and it's like a 1920s style pilot, and you do the same thing and you flip them up and try to protect your tokens and have him take out the other tokens. But that one also is a little bit tricky to find. But this is one of those ones where if it's right for the person that you're looking to get a gift for, then they're just going to absolutely love it, and it's worth hunting down for something this good. Next, we have Let's Go Fishin', which is kind of a play date level game for kids ages. We started playing this with my younger son when he was 18 months old, and my kids all still like playing around with it now, and they're 3, 7, 9, and 10. The goal of the game is that you have this pond with a bunch of fish in it. You push a button, they start going around in circles. You have a fishing pole, and as they're going around, their little mouths are opening and closing, and you're trying to time it right to catch one as they're going by. And you can do the official rules where you try to catch them all and then count and see who has the most at the end, or you can do what we did and do kind of a catch and release where you're catching some, and then when you've gotten a bunch, you put a bunch back in and then just keep on going as long as you want to play. This was a lifesaver. My younger son was a toddler because he never stopped moving, but he would sit and play this for a blissful 20 minutes at a time, and we'd get a little respite. This game, I would recommend getting, if you want to be kind to the parents, there's the generic version on Amazon. I think it's like $8. It's by Pressman, and it just has the fish going around. It's very easy. It's very sturdy. If you want to mess with parents a little bit, there's a Baby Shark version that plays the song on repeat. The children would love it. The parents are going to lose their minds a little bit. So whatever you're going for. But this is one that is also virtually indestructible because we've had this for about 7 or 8 years. And in that time of no one treating it gently, fish being ripped apart, we put them back together, the fishing poles being banged around, the game being dropped, it still works. There's one fish that's broken and one fishing pole that doesn't work anymore. But we can still play the game and it still works just fine. And that's after like 7 or 8 years of abuse. So pretty good. So this is a great one that you can get when they're really little, but it's not like they're going to grow out of by the time they're 3 or 4. They will still enjoy it for a very long time. Next, we move to some of the more like standard type kid board games that these last 3, there's a little bit of rules to read up on so you can play, but it's pretty easy and literally every child loves these games. The first of these 3 is Sleeping Queens. It says ages 8 and up on the box, but ages 5 or 6 can easily play this, and kids seem to really enjoy it through ages like 11 or 12. The goal of the game is to be the first to awaken and collect a certain number of queens or a certain point value of queens. You get to awaken queens by placing king cards down, and then you select one from these 2 face down areas, and you don't know, you might get a 5-point value queen or a 20-point value queen. You might get the queen of cats, which is great unless you get the queen of dogs as well, and then you can't keep both because they don't get along and you have to put one back. There are a lot of really fun power cards in this game. If you play a knight card on someone else, you're trying to steal their queen, but they can stop you if they have a dragon. You can use a sleeping potion to try to put somebody else's queen to sleep, but they can stop you if they have a magic wand. There are number cards that you get to make easy little math problems out of to get more cards into your hand. And then there's a jester that is kind of like a wild card, and if you play it down, you either can get a bonus turn or someone can get to awaken a queen. So there's just a lot of really fun things going on in this game. Boys really like it, girls really like it, and it's very popular. So if the person who you're looking to get a gift for already has this, good news, they just came out with Sleeping Queens 2, and it's very good. I wouldn't pick Sleeping Queens 2 as a replacement. Like if you're getting one of the games for somebody, I would get them Sleeping Queens first. But if they already have that and enjoy it, then I would run out and get them Sleeping Queens 2, The Rescue, because they will definitely love that one too. Next, we have Outfoxed, which is ages 5 and up on the box, and I would go by that. And up through ages like 10 or 11 still really enjoy playing it, but I think I'd gift it to someone ages 5, 6, or 7, thereabouts. The game is like cooperative Clue, and in this, a fox has stolen a pie, and you're trying to figure out which one did it. And you're doing that by rolling the dice, and you're trying to get different combinations to either unmask suspects or to uncover clues. And what makes the kids really go nuts about this game is the little like decoder, where when you get a clue, you get to insert it in this thing and you slide over a panel. And then if a green dot appears in the little open spot in the clue, then you know that the guilty fox has that trait, and you can eliminate some of the suspects you've uncovered accordingly. Oh, they have a scarf. So anyone who doesn't have a scarf, we can eliminate as a candidate to be the guilty fox. And you're just trying to do all of this before the fox escapes down the foxhole. So it's so cute. It's just very gentle, the gameplay, nothing scary, and kids love a whodunit, and it's a really great theme. It's really fun gameplay. I enjoy playing this with my kids, so this is just a hit across the board, and everyone should have this one in their house. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have Dragomino. It says ages 5 and up on the box, and I'd say ages 4 through 10 will play this game and really enjoy it, but I would gear it more for ages 4, 5, and 6 to get it for them as a present. The goal of the game is to get the most dragons, and you get dragons by placing down the dominoes that have terrain on them instead of numbers. And if you place down the dominoes so that the terrain matches where it connects at a matching spot, you get to place a dragon egg. And so you pick the egg and then you flip it over, and it can have a cute little baby dragon in it, or it can be empty and you don't know. So that's how you get your points. I like this game a lot because it's so simple to get up and running. Just match your dominoes. The theme is great for little kids, and they have kind of a consolement prize when you do get an empty egg. And if you flip one over with the empty egg, then you get the little mama dragon token, and that means you get to be the first to select your domino the next round, which can be really good for you. It means you'll have more spots where you'll have things match up. And that really seems to help a kid so they aren't too upset. Oh, I just keep on getting these empty dragon eggs. Well, you shouldn't, because you're getting the mama dragon. You're going to pick first next time, and things will go better for you. So you just keep on going until all of the dominoes have been used up. And then for scoring, all the kids do is count the number of dragons they have, and that is their score. And I love an age-appropriate game where you can give this to a 5-year-old and they can do the setup entirely by themselves. They fully understand the gameplay and can run it completely on their own. They enjoy the theme. This game also leads to, it's part of the King Domino world of games. And those are fantastic. Those are great to lead to. And it's nice to have this as your entry point, because the scoring for those involves some multiplication. You'll have something to say, okay, I have this number of spots that are conjoined with the terrain, and it has this many crowns, so it's 8 times 3 plus 7 times 2 plus 6 times 4, and that's too much for a 5-year-old. They're not going to be able to do the math on their own. So this is very age-appropriate, theme outstanding. I brought this to a bunch of my board game classes, and it was a hit every time, so it is just such a good choice. So that's my top 10 games to gift to any kid. Games are an experience gift that you can wrap up and put in a box and have somebody hold and open. It is so wonderful to give and to get to play with them afterwards. So I hope you found one or two that you're excited about here, and thank you so much, and I'll see you next time from Game Like a Mother.